Good evening, guys. We're gonna do this as a live take because I don't like to do video editing. This is gonna be my review of Full Sail's online PG1. We comment up right here. Right now, my thing's failing because of professionalism. That should be fixed maybe tomorrow. But we come through here, the introduction of PG1, they give you all the information about lectures, open labs. They invite you to a Discord currently that's for all of game development and computer science degrees joined together. This doesn't include cybersecurity or the IT degrees. I'm sure they have their own Discord. But they teach you about the Copilot Tutoring Center if you need it, but I'm pretty sure you guys really want to know what they're actually teaching here for a programming one. So day one, we just go in, setting up Visual Studio, learning the basics, include IO stream and main. Ooh, I'm not used to this keyboard. STD, C out. Hello world. Really can't type today. I've been on my MacBook too much. Pretty much just exactly of day one we run this. And then you get the little hello world. Pretty simple. Easy stuff. And then day two they start to teach you about variables. So we have our int num, which can be a 5, 4. We learn about doubles, even though we don't really use doubles. Real number, anything that's a double is that. We learn about floats, which is just half of a double. .92. And then we learn about strings. They just go to strings. They don't explain that the language doesn't natively support strings, so you have to include a library to get your strings. We have a string, and then we're gonna just do 500. Value. And then with that, we learn about converting. So now let's say we want to change our num from the value. You do std string to int, and then value. As long as you know all this stuff, you're going to be pretty much passing the first week. I guess also the first lab, you got to learn about how to do cin to a value, and then printing out the value. So one. You entered so as long as you can do that, you're gonna be completely fine passing colors the first week of PG1. What? Why? I'm gonna pull this over here. I don't know why I keep clicking on Discord. There's another thing about debugging. Pretty much, you just do that. You hit F5, and then you go to autos, and then you got to read out values like this, and you got to write it down. Pretty much, that's all the debugging exercises. They don't really go too much into detail. about it. Then after that, they start doing labs. So they have a little helper folder. And then pretty much you just get a called student work. And then you just get like a test. And then, like, let's say you want to return an int. So they'll give you this. They'll give you a little thing like instruction. Use S2I to return an int. And then down here, they're going to explain even more. Well, these are like all the assignments. They tell you exactly what to do. As long as you can read, you're going to be fine. So for this, the long way is that you're going to make a num. And then you assign the num to std string to it, input, and return. Optionally, you can C style cast it. It's not necessary, but that's pretty much all your assignments. It's just whatever they teach you. They tell you exactly what to do, and you just return it right there. And that covers. No, I'm looking over there. The complete first week of programming one. Second week, it's pretty much the same thing, but instead, now we have a that's two. Have it value. And this one's gonna be like find a prime. I guess, but well, I mean, this is, I think that's like week 3. Returnable if prime. You get a value here. So you're gonna have to like have a bool. I like to do this prime. Set that to true. This mic turns off when there's no audio playing. It's obviously I'm talking into it, but Corsair has this still whatever. But then we learn about a for loop before int I equals 2. So the right way to do this, I figured out, is that you find the square root of the number. How do we find the square root of a number? Oh yeah. I is less than I times I. Oh no. I is less than value. Right. And then you pretty much do if value I equals 0, prime equals false. And I guess, what is it? Alt. See, I'm learning Visual Studio shortcuts. And then break. They have these stupid rules. You can't have multiple returns. It's their standard practice. I'm guessing it's because students use multiple returns and they don't know what's really going on with their code. So they make these rules like you can't use const, you can't use auto, you can't use static, you can't use references or pointers, or at least the first programming class. Can't use any advanced concepts. It's pretty much a Java class, but it's not Java because Java forces you to use public static void main on your first class. Edge cases is prime. In case that fails, because 2, 2 that won't run. I mean, I don't think that these edge cases will matter. I think that'll be -1. Let's just test that. Let's just test this. Okay, let's go. Equals 0. Equals plus. Plus do if 2 2. Oh yeah, you can't use banned words like you can't use using, can't do that. You can't use type def, can't do any of that. And gotta be pretty much JavaScript, pretty much. There is prime 1 is prime 2 is prime 3 is prime 5, 7, 11, 13. Yeah, okay, that works. Is 0 really a prime number? I don't think it is. I don't think 0. And then we learn about comments. I don't really tell you really about edge cases. Well, that's how you do if it's a prime number or not. And that pretty much covers week 2 loops if statements. We use if statements right here. switch statements. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys probably know what a switch statement is if you have any idea about what programming is. Then week 3, we learn about vectors and arrays. We don't really go too much into vectors. They just give you like, oh, it's an array, but you can switch how many things are in it. That's pretty much their only explanation of that. Then we have test 3. Return a bool. I don't do this, so this is just a edge case. Let's say if value is in vector, add it and return true. If values are already entered, vector return. I mean, this would have been a good case. So we'll have like a bool return value. Oh, yeah, we'll just do this. Because we can do, so we can say if num equals value, return value equals true. False. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have it default to true. And we're going to do that, it's false. And then if return value is true, selection push back value return value. Example of how to work with like a vector, pretty much array. You gotta know what the size is. They won't let you use constants, so you may have like a rule of like you only have like 10 items in an array. So just assume that the array length's 10, pretty much. Well, that's all over week 3. And then week 4 we learn about classes, and you just see I made a class right here. We can make a constructor, which is what most students are having troubles with. They don't understand what a constructor is. Pretty much that. They also go over a overload. That's one of the assignments earlier. An overload, you just gotta take extra values, but it's called same thing. And that's all it is. A few private variables. Have them here. Pretty much here. here, and then they talk to you about I don't know what they're complaining about, and then they tell you about getters. XA. You not return an array in C++? Can you not return an array? Apparently you can't. You have to use. Okay, so that's why. No, they don't tell you about that, but they give you voice. And if they want you to return an array, they're just gonna tell you make an array here. That? You And I think what they do is behind the scenes, they'll probably do. I think it's int cleaner noms equals. I think what they'll do here is work get vars. Just do like maybe that. Why do you do that? Do that? Curious. Yeah. Is that what they're doing? Or can you just pass num in here like that? I'm sorry, I don't. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. Um, I'm sure if I actually looked it up, I could figure it out. Well, I could look up their code and actually see what they're doing, but that's too much work. And then you have a midterm project. It's pretty much just doing all the same thing over here, and then week 4 is even easier. You really don't do anything besides the final project, which is just making like 5 classes that all just they tell you exactly what to do, like everything. Overall, this class is extremely easy if you have any knowledge of programming. Um, their syllabus is a little bit misleading, but this is marketing for you. You learn about programming, I guess, structured, object-oriented. Not really. Don't really talk about control flow anymore. They don't really talk about compile time, really. They didn't really address that. They don't really address runtime. Literal value is just like that 0 right there. I can tell you about strings that are not that. They don't really talk about bits anymore. They don't really talk about objects or instances anymore. They go over array, and then obviously this is programming 1, so it's just showing you the console. But that's my honest review, about a 30-minute review. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll get back to you to tell you and answer it. But thank you for watching.